Welcome to Dr. Charles Speaks, a podcast for now. You've joined us for a special series of transformational talks, selected exclusively from Dr. Charles's corporate success calls. The 15-minute calls are designed to encourage leaders, activate your thought life, and prepare you for the challenges ahead. Dr. Charles joins every call with a blend of his personal experiences, his expertise as a John Maxwell certified mentor and coach, and of course, his more than 30 years of exceptional experience in both corporate America and ministry. Get motivated with Dr. Charles Speaks, a transformational talk from the Red Line on today's podcast, inspiring excellence and generating results.
Happy Monday. This is the Red Line Corporate Success Call. This 15-minute call may make all of the difference in how effectively you navigate through this next week. It's designed to start your week off on a positive note. We want to be positive. And it's also designed to inspire you to continue to challenge yourself in your own personal leadership growth. It's so important that we come together, and I'm certainly appreciative of all of you who are joined in on the message and the podcast and the Red Line. It certainly is making a difference. I know it's making a difference in my own life, and I trust that it is making a difference in yours. And so with the brief time that we have on this day, this happy Monday, I want to talk to you about a subject of the name of This Little Light of Mine. I'm going to let it shine. Now, some of you from the church community might be thinking that, wait a minute, this sounds like a sermon he's going to give. But it really is a statement that I really feel it's near and dear to my heart, because we all have a light within us. And if we allow that light to shine and to brighten up the space and to brighten up the world and to brighten up the community and to brighten up inside of our home or on the job, we can make a difference. And I'm all about trying to make positive differences. I'm about really trying to grow and to continue to learn. This is something that has really been instilled in my heart since I was 8 years old, and I can recall taking my allowance money and holding a class in my grandmother's basement and teaching the kids in the neighborhood, and then buying candy bars to reward them for coming to class and participating. I didn't have a teacher certificate, but I was able to share with them at that young age. There was also a friend of mine. He was a preacher's son, and I remember him playing together and playing church with him as he was the lead pastor in this playing around, and it got serious a couple of times. And so it's amazing, even as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, as a full adult, how we can make a difference in letting our lights shine where we are. You know, President John F. Kennedy, he once said, very popular quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." Wow, that is so important, because we have something that we have to offer, and we just have to realize what that is, and we have to allow it to manifest and be the best that we can and share it with the world. So it's not about what our country can do for you and me. It's about what we can do for our country. And we can do a lot of good things, particularly in the day and age we live today. Right in our own neighborhood, we can be the difference maker, whether it's tutoring a kid in the neighborhood, whether it's working with an elderly person on the iPad or on their iPhone or what have you, or whether it is volunteering to do work that's going to help people in need, whether it's taking food to someone or clothing to someone or visiting there in the senior citizen's home. There is something that we can do to bring light and to bring cheer and to bring positiveness, to give people a will to get up from their situation, to empower them, to energize them, to give them hope that they can too make it in this world. And so I challenge you, and I will continue to challenge you. Let's tap in on that diamond in the rough, and let's smooth out the rough edges, and let's get to the place where we're able to identify what it is that we do well, and let's make that our number one gift to the world. And you watch and see how you're going to make an impact and a positive difference in the lives that you encounter. And so let's stop looking for someone to hand us something, to give us something, but let's be in the position that we can be givers, not takers. We can be people who always have something to give. It doesn't have to always be tangible, but it certainly can be a good word. It can be a compliment. It could be a deed that will just be a thoughtful deed that will make the difference in somebody's day and somebody's week along the journey. We're talking about in this particular talk today, this little light of mine, this little light of yours, I'm going to let it shine. You're going to let it shine, because there is, number two, there's great potential in you. And can you see it? Can you see it? And if you can't see it, ask your nearest and dearest companion or best friend. They will be able to give you some insights as something that perhaps you haven't noticed, but they have, and they see it. And then take a good look at it and see how you can improve upon it. Read more books. Talk to people that have a similar gift, and get to know them and begin to compare notes and begin to work out your vision as to what you can see. For you can achieve those things if you only put your mind to it. If you make it a discipline, habit, that you will always get up with that placed on your mind, and that you are going to do something in that area to grow that particular area. For me, it's been about my whole life of really being positive. One of the things that really is a big turnoff for me is negative and negative people. I've always accepted the attitude of we can do better. We can make improvements. There is great potential in you. You can see it. Others can see it. And you can be the best of the best. That's why I've said it before. There's no reason to be jealous of anybody. There's no reason to be envious of anybody, because you have great potential. But it'll only remain potential if you don't act on it. And I'm just pushing you this morning. Start acting on that great potential. You know, we have been uniquely made by our Heavenly Father, and He's made a great specimen in you and in me. And so we have something to live for, and we have people to see, places to go. And I want you to get excited about that and think big. Don't think small. Think big, because you can do it with help of others and certainly help from God. Number 3, if you don't give up, good things will happen. And this has been my motto. Never, never give up. And I've had disappointments, and I know you've had them too. We all have shared in disappointments, opportunities that were missed, mistakes that were made, places that we thought we would be, where we would go, all of those things. But you know what? Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your focus on that which you do have in your possession, and continue to build upon that. You know, don't give up on the good things. You keep doing good things will follow you. I truly believe that. On the other side of that, you do bad things will follow you. You know, it's something like a magnet. You know, positive people flock together, they're together, negative people, they're together. But you know what? If you just continue to do the good that you can do the best that you can do, making the difference where you are, you will be a magnet, and people will they'll run to you or they'll run away because they still want to carry on in a negative way. But I guarantee you, positive wins over negative all the time. And it makes for a good person. It makes for a better person. It makes for a person who's determined to reach their goals and their dreams. So, number 4, focus on what you can control. You know, there are things that you can control, and that is your attitude. You can but control your attitude. You can control the things that your behaviors in terms of what we do and how we go about it. We're responsible for our own behaviors. No matter what somebody says or they do, we're going to have either a reaction or a response. Now, there's a difference. The reaction is I'm going to say or do what I want to do when I want to do it without thinking about it. But a response is having looked at the situation, having examined the situation, having weighed the pros and cons of the situation, and set out to do the good thing, and that is the best thing that you possibly have come up with. If you don't give up on doing those things, you'll be fine. I truly believe that. I believe it for myself. I believe it for you. That when you're going about doing good, even though when you do good and somebody criticizes you, someone wants to put a monkey wrench into what you're doing, don't give up. Don't give in to that. Don't fall for it. Always find the good. Be optimistic and be positive and be strong in your conviction and go forward with the attitude that I will accomplish what I've set out to do. And that is so important because those are things that I can control. I can focus in on those things, and while those other things will work themselves out, they generally do, I'll be all right. So that last point, we're talking about this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. We got to live on purpose, and purpose is so important. You know, we have a purpose here on this earth, and when you identify that purpose, then you work in that lane and you work your way up this highway of life. And we're working, as they say, from earth to heaven. That really is the goal. And when you get to that place, when it's time to leave this place, as I've said before, you want to die empty. Not broke, but empty. Empty what? I've emptied out of myself. I've given of myself all that I have, and I have left a legacy that is making a difference. On the talk before, we talked about what's left after you've gone and buried in the ground is your character. That is what's going to live on. And so when we live on purpose, and though there may be hiccups along the way, there may be curves and dips and valleys along the way, we'll stay on purpose. And so you want to live in the mindset of, I will make it, I plan to make it, I'm going to make it, I'm going to do it. Just keep that in your mindset, and you're going to do it. That's going to be the end result. So, as I close, when you think about your light, and you think about what you can do with that light, you can be a repairer of the breach in the road. Just imagine a road ahead of you filled with potholes. Those of you that come from the north know what the salt does in the winter, and it leaves potholes in the springtime, and they have to come back with their trucks to fill those potholes. But as a person with purpose and a light that you're leading the charge where you're from, where you're going, you can be a repairer of those potholes along the way, and others will follow the positive road, the road that you made a difference in, and what you did and how you contribute to life and society. Thank you once again. I hope, I pray that this has helped you and has made you think and look from within yourself and let the light shine. You don't have to put on any oil on your face to shine. All you have to do is continue to do good, and people will take notice, and you will look good, you'll sound good, you'll act good, and you'll reach your destiny, and you'll make a difference. God bless you. Take care. I will speak to you next week, but let's go to work for now. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Dr. Charles Speaks. Visit drcharlesred.com for booking info for your ministry, business, or leadership team. Get info about the Red Line, a 15-minute corporate success call each Monday morning with Dr. Charles. Follow Dr. Charles on all social media at Dr. Charles Red. Subscribe to the podcast here for every episode of Dr. Charles Speaks. Thanks for joining us. like Dr. Charles always says, no matter what, never, never, never give up. Until next time.